What do they say is special about this time right now?
And there is so much happening in the world, and a lot of people are experiencing it both as excitement and as chaos. And I want to bring the excitement part of it to the forefront of the conversation. We really do live right now in the most magical times we could ever imagine. Right now, one of the main things that people are experiencing is dizziness, ringing in the ears. That's a really common one, and pressure in the ears, and of course heart palpitation, which is really the heart chakra awakening. I've been working very closely with Hathor, the divine feminine, and I have been a channel for her voice. So this whole talk about the shift, consciousness shift, it is real and it is here. So when you talk about 5 years ago, they were talking about present and future tenses, but this is no longer the case. This is here now. We are literally being squeezed through the eye of the needle right now. When me and my group asked about physical contact, they would laugh and they said, "This is physical contact." They actually mean densifying their light body enough to become physical. Things are going to get even wilder. It is not wild bad, it is wild more.
Welcome everybody to the Heart Coherence Collaborative. I'm really excited today. We have our new friend Dr. Yafi with us. Yafi, are you here? And she's from Florida. She's been a big fan of the Heart Coherence Collaborative, and she's an excellent channel. So I'm super excited to dive in today and learn all about you. So I'd love to start, Dr. Yafi. Is there anything that your heart wants to share in this moment?
Hi, Kyle. I am so happy to be here. Let's see what my heart wants to share. Yes, there is so much actually happening right now in the world and in my life and energetically. And what my heart wants to share the most is the excitement of the now. As I mentioned, there is so much happening in the world, and a lot of people are experiencing it both as excitement and as chaos.
Yeah.
And I want to bring the excitement part of it to the forefront of the conversation.
Yeah.
Because we really do live right now in the most magical times we could ever imagine. And this is true from the smallest scale to the biggest scale. And with the small scale, I can share that in my personal life, synchronicities and miracles and magical happenings are accelerating to such extent that I'm almost dizzy, but in a good way, but I can't even keep up.
Yeah. It's so funny that you just said that, because we just went to BioCybernaut, and it's this 7-day brain rewiring vision quest. And they monitor your emotions and to see where you're at in the process. And one indicator that you're going to go through a massive spiritual breakthrough is dizziness.
Huh, how interesting.
Yeah. So I was getting dizzy as the 7 days were going on. On day 3, I was dizzy. 4, I was really dizzy. 5, I was very dizzy. Day 6, I had a Kundalini awakening.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's actually one of the symptoms that I'm hearing a lot from my patients. Right now, one of the main things that people are experiencing is dizziness.
It's a good thing.
Alongside ringing in the ears, that's a really common one, and pressure in the ears, and of course, heart palpitation, which is really the heart chakra awakening.
Yeah, so what Dr. Hart says is an indicator that you're getting ready to see the world in a completely different way than you've ever recognized it.
Yes, and that's exactly where we're at. And as I mentioned, they're like cycles, right? So you see it in your personal life in the most personal, specific way, and then you see it in your community, and then you see it for the country, and then you see it for the world and for the earth.
Yeah, so I would love to touch base just on your channel, right? And so that means so many different things for so many different people. What does that mean to you?
Yes, you're right. It does mean a lot of things. Even to me, it means different things. Nice. But essentially, when we say I'm a channel, we're really talking about what I do in my life day to day, as my personal life and my professional life, And this journey that I have taken on as a channeler, as a verbal channeler, and specifically in the past about 5 years, maybe a little more, I've been working very closely with Hathor, the divine feminine, and I have been a channel for hers, theirs, we can talk about what that means, voice.
Interesting.
And I've channeled many other sources, different galactics and earth elements and earth energies. However, Hathor has been with me from the beginning of my channeling journey, and I didn't know back then they were going to become my main guide. It was just one of many guides that I explored and opened up to, but essentially that ended up being my long-term relationship and this beautiful life journey of integrating the divine feminine and all their lessons into my life. So I'm a channel for Hathor, and who and what is Hathor is really a wonderful and long and deep conversation.
Yeah, could you start with it? I would love to hear a little bit more about who is Hathor. That's exciting.
Yes. So I'll start by saying that when Hathor first came to me, I was not familiar with the name. In my life, I was never very history-oriented or mythology-oriented, so this was a completely new world for me, which possibly was a good thing because I was a clean slate in a way. And when Hathor first came to me, I expected some kind of a warrior energy, Hathor! And to my amazement, when I integrated with the essence, I felt this loving, nurturing essence, this wisdom, but again, this loving and nurturing essence. And through me, they introduce themselves as an aspect of the divine feminine. Other people may use the word goddess. With me, they didn't use the word goddess, which I think it's a good thing because I don't think I would have a positive reaction to that word back then. So they used the term divine feminine. And over time, my group and I were asking a lot of questions as I channel my group, the people that I meet with and I channel regularly. They're the ones asking the questions. So we asked more and more questions about Hathor's identity, their nature, their history of working with humanity. And they explained that in addition to being the essence of the divine feminine, which only recently they really explained what that means, but in addition to that, they are a collective from the Sirius star system. So there is a galactic aspect to that as well. Now, we know the name Hathor from ancient Egypt. So the ancient Egyptian considered her one of the goddesses, one of the gods, but she was the mother of all the gods. So she was a little different that she wasn't another god. She was a goddess. It was associated with the cow because the cow gives of her milk. And it was said that Hathor nursed all the other gods. So she is the archetypal mother, bringing us kind of a full circle to that divine feminine essence.
Yeah.
Now,
wow.
Yeah, so, and I said it's a really deep
listening.
rabbit hole.
Going.
It goes deeper and deeper.
Keep going wherever you want with it. I'm eating my popcorn here.
Excellent. So let's revisit the divine feminine. More recently, they explained to me what it means. Because I didn't understand. Is it a she? Is it a them? How is it the divine feminine and the Sirius collective? How does that work really? And recently they put it in a way that I could actually begin to understand. And they said we identify ourselves as the essence of the divine feminine because our first remembrance, our first awareness of our existence is the flow of creation, which by its essence is feminine. And that is their first point of origin, of identification, as the flow of creation. From there, one of the main star systems that they have integrated their consciousnesses with was the Sirius star system. And here we're talking about Sirius A and Sirius B. possibly even Sirius C, but that's a different story. And over time, they began incarnating in physical form. At first, it was just consciousness, then it was more and more physical, in different forms, more and more intelligent forms, and eventually beings that ascended. So they started in consciousness and they incarnated in the physical, and eventually they ascended to be energy, light bodies once again. But this time they ascended after their development as intelligent beings, physical beings, on the Sirius B star system. And that's where they, you may say, form their identity as a Sirius collective.
Great. Wow. Yeah.
And from there, they went on to help establish life throughout the cosmos. And one of their beloved involvements is us, both the Earth and humanity.
I love that. Yeah, I've asked a lot of people, like we have a lot of guests at our channels, and I've asked them if there were any entities that were here for our conversation, and many of them have been surprised because they've said oh, I'm not typically do they come through, but it's the Sirius entities coming through right now. So for some reason, it seems like they have a particular interest in the Heart Coherence Collaborative.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Maybe that's why this interview aligned the way
it
did.
It just flowed, perfectly. That's great. And so when did they first start coming through to you, and what were the messages they were saying?
So they started coming through to me about 5.5 years ago. And the messages were mostly about how important and pivotal these times are for humanity. And they mentioned that they, as beings, interact with humanity, come into contact with humanity whenever there are pivotal times like this, times of acceleration, of change, of awakening. And that is why they were involved in the times of ancient Egypt, which is approximately 12,000 years ago, unlike the timeline current scientists give us. And that's when they were involved with humanity, because there was this time of awakening, and then they had to leave when there was a time of a relative fall, because it's all cyclical energy. And now we are revisiting this time of awakening. And that is why they are involved with us. Again, but when did they start? They started at the origin of the planet and before even humanity existed. So they have been interacting with us from the beginning. With me specifically, you see, that's also tricky. So in the conscious mind of Yafi, it's in the past 5.5 years. But in reality, I have been working with them in ancient Egyptian times, in Atlantis times, on Sirius. So really we're talking about timelessness here.
Yeah. And how do they use you specifically? What is your mission with them?
Yes, my mission in general, I feel, is to be a bridge. I often function as a bridge, whether the clinical and the spiritual world, or the different realms, the physical and the non-physical realms. I'm a bridge. And here I am a bridge between their essence with humanity today. And I'm not saying I'm the only one, but this is my personal function and role. And they use my voice. So Hathor, the Hathors, are masters of sound and of frequency. This is one of their specialties. And that is how actually the pyramids were built and formed. That is part of the wisdom they brought back then. And part of what they're bringing to us, again, the love and joy of sound and music, and the healing and the power in sound as frequency. And one of my first passions as a person, as Yafi, was to sing, was of the voice. And this is not the path that I took in my life. I became a clinical psychologist. But one of my first passion was of the voice. And even as a little child, I used to record myself sing and listen to my voice. And I remember my best friend used to make fun of me. She said, I don't understand. What's the joy here? What do you get out of listening to the sound of your own voice? And I couldn't explain it in words, but I could feel the frequency. I could feel the energy that was beyond the voice.
Yeah, so I would love to hear, what do they say is special about this time right now?
We are literally shifting. So this whole talk about the shift, consciousness shift, it is real and it is here. So when you talk about 5 years ago, they were talking about present and future tenses, as in what's coming. But this is no longer the case. This is here now. We are literally being squeezed through the eye of the needle right now. They are talking about it in language of going up an octave. We are shifting into the next octave, and it is happening now. So that is what's so unique about these times. That is why they have come through me after preparing me for this work. But not only that, so approximately 2 years ago, they announced, and I was channeling at a conference, so I wasn't even at the comfort zone of my little group, and all of a sudden they announced that they are in the physical, on the earth once again.
Wow.
And that was approximately 2 years ago.
Wow.
So that whole journey of physical contact and what we are as humanity are preparing for and going through is happening now. And the gap between us and them is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, so full-on physical open contact can become possible.
Yeah. Now, so when they said that they're on the ground now, in what form do they mean? Like through you? Or through people? Or like actual hybrids?
Actual beings that, okay, so they were here before, as you said, through me. Yes, they were channeling through me, right? So they had a presence here, at least, if not physical, on some level, on some dimension. And in fact, when me and my group asked about physical contact, we're talking about 5 years ago, they would laugh and they said, this is physical contact. Yeah. So you are right by pointing it out. But what they mentioned 2 years ago, they actually mean, and we asked them about it, their light bodies, that they're able to densify enough to manifest physical presence, not through incarnation, but through densifying their light body enough to become physical. So they have come here in the most physical form that they're capable of, the densest, most physical form that's available to them, in order to usher us through this process, through this journey, and in preparation for full contact.
Nice. Now, what should we be doing to prepare?
Yes, so everything that we are doing, and you know, this is something very important. People have a lot of anxiety and concern if they're even going to make the shift or not, if they're doing everything they can be doing. And they've answered that a lot lately, because a lot of people are asking that. And they're saying, if you're here engaging in this conversation with genuine interest, if you are genuinely attempting to walk the walk and not just talk the talk, if you're genuinely attempting, you don't need to be perfect, to apply all those lessons, to live from the heart, to do that inner work, you are making the shift. You are doing what needs to be done. You are a part of those way showers and are a part of who is paving the path for the rest of humanity. And it's very important for people to realize that they don't have to be perfect in order to be a part of that. Even, you know, part of the leaders, the way showers. Because often people hear other channelers or people like you speak and they put them above them and they think that we have less ego, less problems, less I don't know, unchecked emotions, less running mind, or whatever stories they can come up with. And it's true that each of us may be on a different point on our journey, but we are all dealing with the human condition. And I think it's so important to bring it down to earth and make it clear for people. You don't have to be perfect. Of course you make mistakes. Of course, occasionally you find yourself either being selfish or lacking boundaries or whatever your story is, because that's a part of the human condition. And our journey is being able to be aware of it, to handle those different things as they come up. And now we're being called to more than ever to do it in the most compassionate way possible. And that is the big challenge, right? To stay self-compassionate and hold that really gentle, loving space towards yourself when you know you're messing up and disappointing yourself.
Oh, it's funny. You must have watched our recent interviews, because I've been talking about this a lot, about my own just struggle. And it's been like this like trying to break through and then disappointed that I'm not breaking through because I'm trying so hard. And so I'm shifting that trying into like compassion and just allowing.
Exactly.
And I'm being open about it. Just like, you know, like you said, people can put people in our positions in like pedestals, but it's like I'm struggling just as much as the average person. I feel good about where I'm at today, but there's been a lot of, you know, pain to get me to this point. So
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's so cool. So is there anything happening like this year that we need to be specifically concerned about? Do Hathor, your entities, talk about specific dates, or are they a little more vague in that regards?
The dates, well, they answer when we ask about times and dates. They never volunteer them on their own. I don't think so. But we've been asking a lot.
Yeah.
And it seems like the next 2 years are really pivotal. So 2027 is really, really important, specifically when we talk about contact and open contact. They have given me, I think it's 2028, if I'm not mistaken, for clear energy to start becoming available to the public in an open way, which is so soon.
That is soon.
And open contact making drastic progress in about 2 years. And they said it's not going to happen overnight in 2 years. There's steps along the way, just like we are already seeing steps now. But it's going to become more and more available for more and more people and groups, and eventually become a completely accepted reality. And we're talking really the next few months and the next few years as being a complete shift. So the next 2 years, big shifts in contact. And by 2030, we're talking a world that's quite different than our current world today.
Yeah. Now, is there any species that will lead the way in that contact, do you know of?
Let's see. So as I mentioned, the Hathors, who are Sirians, are already here on the planet in preparation for physical contact. There are also Pleiadians that are already here interacting with certain individuals. There are also hybrids that are physical and are living amongst us in the open physical, but they're not disclosing that they're hybrids yet. So that's really exciting. And I think that's going to be disclosed also really soon, within the next couple of years, hopefully. Let's see what other. And now we're talking galactic races, but additionally, there are elementals such as fairies and different nature spirits that are going to become more and more vibrationally available to us to interact with in the physical, which I find super exciting too.
I love that. I've seen fairies before, which is pretty cool. Now, I'm curious about, we hear a lot of people talking about like the new earth and how we've heard some perspectives that some people when this shift happens aren't going to make it based off of their level of consciousness. Not that they won't make it, but they'll be in a completely different reality in a different space and time. I'm curious your take on that. I heard you say that if you are just trying to be a part of the shift, you'll be a part of the shift. What
Genuinely trying.
Yeah, what happens to the people that aren't genuinely trying? What reality do they show up in?
Yeah, some of them will make it to the shift because there has to be some kind of cutoff point. I think it's not a line, I think it's a whole range, but there's some kind of a cutoff range.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
a lot of people are going to be pushed up because the whole earth is literally shifting an octave. So there are a whole lot of people that are just going to shift up with it, and they're going to experience the awakening as appropriate to them. So they are going to make the shift, but the shift is going to look different to them based on where they are on their journey. And there are other people that may not make the shift, and they will literally go through another cycle of fallen earth. And what that looks like for them, I guess we can look at what it looked like for us.
And so will we still be there with them on that earth in like different versions of us?
So the people in the gray area, yes. The people that will not make it completely, no. They will completely fall out of our lives. We will literally inhabit different realities that may still intertwine occasionally, because realities and probabilities are fluid. But generally speaking, we will be separated by a full octave. So there will be some people that, the terminology left behind is kind of funny, but they will be left on the lower version of the earth, which you could think about the last 10,000 years of the earth, right? We, the one that are making the shift this time, didn't last time. And that is why we went through another cycle, whether it was during Atlantis time, which was one of those cycles, or during the ancient Egyptian times, which was one of those cycles. So you could see us as what happens when you don't make the shift.
Yeah. Now, for example, say somebody is in their life right now being pulled away from their family, and they're feeling less and less connected to them, and they're feeling more and more connected to their spiritual family. I'm not saying this is me. I'm just saying in general. Now, would that be a part of this process?
Absolutely.
And
it's real and it's happening.
And can you still interact with the other world when the shift happens, like at Christmas time? Or are you just not going to have any desire to even be around these people?
Well, it's all still open because it all depends on where you're going to be and also where they're going to be, right? Yeah. So even if they don't make the shift, it doesn't mean that they disappear. They're still people. They're still on their journey.
Yeah, right.
So they may be accessible or not accessible or very accessible. So it really, really depends. Yeah. And you can let's take the metaphor and turn it into how we keep in touch with people that are crossed over. Yeah. So people who are crossed over, they're in a different dimension, but they still exist. Right. There's some people that lose their parents, let's just say parents, and they never communicate with them again, they never have contact with them again, especially if they're complete non-believers in anything spiritual. But some people, that's their reality. Their parents cross over and that's the end of it. Other people have visitations, have communications. Other people may experience one of their parents becoming one of their spirit guides and work with them on a regular basis. So you have these completely different realities in terms of level of interaction. So I see it's kind of similar. So we're going to shift. Now, how available we're going to be to them and they're going to be to us all depends on that, on their paradigm, on their actual energetic signature, on their intention, on their desires. So we're talking about our desires. Are we going to want to be in touch with them? Are they going to want to be in touch with us? So there's so many factors here. And the answer is yes to everything. All those different scenarios are going to happen.
I can see it already unfolding, and it's Very, very interesting. Like you said, in the
Yes.
world that I'm living in, the synchronicities are crazy. Everything's happening so fast. It's like, oh, wizards are just coming into my life. People who
Yes.
channel Hathor. Just it's really cool.
And also, you just came back from a retreat. So,
Yeah.
and so to make it like personal and specific, you could probably analyze looking back and see based on reactions and see based on how people behaved, how different people in the same retreat had completely different experiences of reality.
For sure.
So and I wasn't there in the retreat, but I can tell you exactly how it was. So
Yeah, yeah.
some people saw it as the most high vibrational gathering of everything being so raw and some connected. Other people saw it as, oh, emotions are coming up to the surface and they don't like what this person is doing and they don't like what this person is saying. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
And again, and I wasn't there, but that is what's happening right now. So people are actually having completely different experiences
Yeah.
within the same seeming reality.
Yeah. Now, before we ask Hathor to come through, what's your thoughts on Three Eye Atlas?
Ooh, I think it's another super exciting thing.
That's everyone's reaction.
We asked, yes, because we asked Hathor about it. We asked about it, and you should ask more, especially now that now we're almost at its closest approach to Earth right now.
Yeah, right.
So Hathor said that, first of all, it's intentional. It's not some random rock flying through space. It is intentional. It's interacting with several different consciousnesses, several different intelligences. And it's bringing a lot of codes and a lot of energy with it. I channeled that a few months ago. And a few months ago, they said, you don't need to wait for it to get here. What's getting here is the physical mass. But the codes, the energy, the consciousness moves much, much faster than the physical mass. And that has been arriving for months now, when we've been absorbing all these different light codes, both coming directly from Three Eye Atlas and also that are coming to us through our sun in interaction with Three Eye Atlas.
Amazing. Yeah, for sure. Is there anything you want to share before we dive in?
Maybe just a couple of words about light language and field tuning.
Oh, sure.
Field tuning is the terminology that the Hathors use. So people know light language. I'm assuming anybody watching your show knows what light language is and heard some versions of it.
Yeah.
Now, I also channel light language in addition to English channeling. Oh, cool. And when I channel light language, the spoken part of it is, from what I feel internally, is Isis, mainly Isis, speaking the words. And when she speaks the words, I see it as white energy ribbons weaving around people's energy centers, hearts, and spines. So I really see it as white ribbons. That's what the energy looks like to me. And when Hathor, the Hathor kicks in, it's more tones and tuning, and they also do temple chants. So it's more sounds than specific words, although they work together, it's combination. And they call that field tuning because it works with your general energetic field. Nice. And what it does, it basically harmonizes your field, so you begin resonating in internal coherence and then coherence with other people that are present, which just extends your field even more. Beautiful. So that's what field tuning is.
Great. Yeah, that's awesome. I would love to just sit back and listen to some, if that's possible.
So they're probably going to open with that.
Oh,
so
cool.
I'm going to call them in, and we're going to do some field tuning, and then you can take the conversation away.
Okay, beautiful.
All right, let's do it. Hariano Rumania Kirastianu Turuma. kaharamo. Romane karianitorsto homayena. Horumane karietirastu homareniena horu. Neraketaro rumenayeha. Rumenaya. Hirerio. Nerastiakuro horuoma. Heyanoru horuemaye. Ikrienaturostu homanerianiaturostu humaneya. Urustiane katirastiani. Hayena harastianukupa harostumanai akaratan. Greetings and blessings to you. We have opened several channels here. We actually opened with an Egypt activation, as many of you at this particular time are connecting to your essences in Egypt, meaning you are connecting to aspects of yourselves that have lifetimes in the land you consider Egypt. And many of you are coming online, connecting to those aspects of yourselves. Many of you have desires to go and visit this ancient land, while others engage in more intellectual discoveries of the stories, myth, and history of the land. There are many ways to connect to your own lineage and your own aspects. One of them is through field tuning, allowing the vibration to become a part of you in the most conscious way that you can hold.
When I was in my meditations for the last few years, one of the images that would always come to me are pyramids or pharaohs. Why would we be remembering our time in Egypt?
Yes, because your soul is going through a similar collection of its parts as it went through during that time when you were in the physical in Egypt. You were one of the pharaohs, not one that has a major name associated with him. However, you were in that company. And there are many things about that specific life that you do not yet know that will be coming online for you as appropriate. Now, you have become, through those visions and those experiences, become aware to your connection with cats, yes?
Yeah.
And that is one of your mystical connection to your current galactic lineage and to your work with different modalities such as spiritual magic. That goes to your lives in ancient Egypt.
It's fascinating. Now, there's a big shift going on right now. Is there anything that you want us to know about this time on this planet right now?
Yes, this is the most exciting time. Now, We have been saying this for quite some time. So we will take that conversation of exciting and bring it to the now. And we will say that right now, your physical bodies are experiencing some adjustment difficulties. This is something that the majority of you are experiencing. In the past, it would be a small faction of society being sensitive enough to experience such changes, but the current energetic makeup is so that 60 to 80% of individuals that are making the shift are experiencing physical symptoms. That is the vast majority. So you have to become aware of your physical body's needs without going to anxiety or worry. Nothing is wrong with your bodies. You can survive with less sleep than you thought for much, much longer than you thought. And let us mention that the sleep portion is one of the things that is going to change with the shift. Your physiology is currently changing. Some aspects of your physiology has a more challenging time catching up to the change and therefore experiencing some symptoms of the gap as it's still trying to catch up to the rest of you.
Now, is there anything we should know about contact with beings?
You should know that it is happening. You should know that it is here. And that you should know that each and every one of you, on some level, is interacting with higher dimensional beings. This does not mean that each and every one of you will meet them in a physical form during this physical lifetime. But it does mean that this is a reality for every person on the planet. And more of you are going to experience this relationship in a more physical way. So contact is already here. Contact is not waiting for new aliens to come land on the planet and introduce themselves to you. Contact is about your awareness unfolding into the reality of existing contact. And yes, new contact will take place as new levels of physicality are going to become more and more available. But it is important for people to know that nobody is left behind. Some people have the ability to manifest orbs, to call on orbs. Other people have the ability to compose music. Yet other people have the ability to bring people together in joy and connectivity. These are all as valuable and a part of this evolution that is happening. The contact is amongst all the parts, human to human, human to non-human, human to animal, human to plant, etc., etc. These are all layers and realities of contact.
So our collaborative's mission is to get people in touch with the healing power of their heart. Is there any, group of entities that we should be calling in specifically for support at this time?
Yes. So there are several answers to that. And we will start by saying many of you are becoming more and more aware of specifically Pleiadian connections that you have. So we will start by saying that those of you that are identifying very strongly with your Pleiadian counterparts, we specifically recommend calling on the Pleiadian divine feminine in order to work with that essence. We feel that is something that is very prevalent and relevant to your community. Now, as you notice, Sirian and Arcturian energies are coming in and introducing themselves, and that's going to continue to increase as the frequencies are going even higher. But the Pleiadian feminine is the essence of the heart-centeredness of your collaborative. So we recommend calling her directly and feeling her beautiful love entering your heart. It is the direct connection your community has with the divine.
I love that. Is there any message that you think she would want to share?
Let us ask her. Blessings to you. We are here to share our heart. There are many names you can call us, but in essence, we are essence. We love you and the work you do. We share our light with you. We help you pave the path so you are never alone. We send different people your way, not only for your show, but for your path in life and your own evolution. We send you our love and many gifts along the way. We send you our love and know that we're never apart.
That was beautiful. I'm curious, specifically from you, Hathor, how can we use sound more in our lives?
Yes, this is an excellent question and can be answered in many ways. Sound, let us begin with music. Sound as you know it can appear in many forms. We love harmonies. We use harmony as medicine. Your music has the ability to be medicine more than you could ever imagine. Yes, there is the element of listening to music to evoke joy. Yes, there is the element of listening to music to evoke movement with the body and allow the body to channel energy, move energy in that way. These are all we're naming parts that are a part of our specialties. But also there are sounds that may be less musical. And those we recommend for people to work with sounds of mantras and vowels, such as Om and such as Ah. Now, these are invitations to explore and play with sounds in ways that may awaken new vibrations within you. We will say that when you play with frequencies with sound, and you hit a certain frequency or relationships with frequencies, you awaken certain elements within yourself that are vibrating in the same frequencies. So you may bring online different, even memories from other lives, different talents and gifts from your higher self by hearing certain frequencies, and those frequencies awakening frequencies within yourself. So playing with sound in that way, exploring vowels and mantras and singing is very recommended to connect to your own energetic signature. But to this, we will also add that the future of your world is of frequency being the future of medicine, both in forms of light and sound, both in forms that you can see and hear, and above and below those. And that is the future of medicine, but also entertainment, and also even things like construction are going to be affected by humanity's growing understanding of frequencies and how to work with those.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. I'm really looking forward to working with sound more. I'm curious. I was talking to Dr. Yafi about Three Eye Atlas being really close to us right now. Is there anything we should know about this period of time and the energy that it's bringing?
Yes, Three Eye Atlas is practically here in its physicality, and actually your Earth is being very strongly shielded right now because Three Eye Atlas is so close. It is being shielded so the densest frequencies coming from Three Eye Atlas can be integrated in the gentlest way. So right now you are getting the most dense frequencies from this whole transmission. It started very light and it got more and more physical. That's what we mean by dense, physical density, the closer it got. So now humanity and the Earth is receiving the densest form of light codes. These will actually include physical objects. So you may have several meteor showers in your sky as different physical particles, which are the densest form of those codes, are arriving. But you are shielded to keep it safe for you. And as we mentioned, this is time where physicality on your planet is extremely intense and raw in general. So this is a part of it. Your actual physicality is shifting as mentioned in octave, but there is a need for some disorganization and reorganization of the physical matter for that to take place. Three Eye Atlas is a part of it.
Oh, okay, great. And in regards to the intention of Three Eye Atlas by extraterrestrials, is there a specific intention?
Yes, it is a part of this shift. It is a part of this change. And it is bringing with it, whether you talk about it in light codes or even physical minerals, such as we mentioned, that are arriving at the Earth, that are a part of this physical graduation, physical change. So it is playing a role in the actual vibrational shift.
Great. And now, in regards to this upcoming year, is there anything we need to know about, astrologically that's going to happen in regards to the shift, or is it kind of just going to be like another more similar year like 2025 was?
You better hold on tight is what we have to say, because things are going to get even wilder. However, it is not wild bad, it is wild more. So even more synchronicities, even sharper ups and downs, but you're not going to fall below where you are now. So don't worry about the ups and downs. Just know that it's going to be intense, but notice the high in the ups and downs, as those constantly reflect your new high, right? So if you're going, let us draw a graph. If you are going up and it looks like this, every time you're going up, you're reaching new height. When you're going down, you're not going down as low as before, and yet reaching new heights. This is what 2026 looks like. So a lot of ups and downs, jagged edges, wild experiences. However, the high keeps on getting higher and higher, meaning more synchronicities, more magic, more connectivity, love connections, more communities coming together, more of the right companies and corporations gaining popularity, and the ones that you do not support losing popularity. More and more of that will take place in the most extreme way in 2026.
Beautiful. Is there any other specific messages that you think are important about anything at all that our collaborative should know about?
Use each other as support. You have this beautiful community, and your community can be 2 people that you talk to or the whole community, depending on your personality style. Use the tools that are given to you. Use that love that is available to you to remind yourself of your own worth, to remind yourself of your own beauty. And remember our words to you. Us. We are always available to you. We are imbued within your Mother Earth. We are imbued in your nature as your natural environment. And we are imbued with your own nature. So we are always with you. All you have to do is pause and take a deep breath and feel that we are there with you within that breath, showering you with love, support, and strength to take another step into this beautiful future that we are all creating together.
Beautiful. I have one more question for you, because you might be able to answer it. I'm not sure. No one's really answered it before, but in my meditations, I see this pyramid with an eye on it, very much like the dollar bill. And it's this real entity that comes together from the vibration of sound, but I don't know what it is or why it's there.
What is your question?
Do you know anything about this being?
Yes.
What is it?
We have mentioned your connection to Egypt, yes? You have had many lives there.
Yeah.
And you have worked with many beings there, including the one known as Thoth, including the one known as Horus. Yes?
Yeah.
You have some familiarity with them.
Yeah.
They are still working with you. You are still together.
Nice.
There is no separation. You are still working with them very closely, and you are still fulfilling that same mission.
And what was that mission?
That same mission that you are here to do right now.
Cool. That's great. Thank you. Thank you.
You are most welcome.
Wow.
Hello.
Hi, that was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know we only had an hour, but I felt like I could go forever, so we'll have to do it again sometime.
So it seems like you have a very direct connection to Horus. Did you know that?
I have known that there's a connection there, but I didn't know exactly what it was.
Yes.
Yeah. I've in deep meditation, I always see pharaohs and Egypts and
Also, you see pharaohs.
I see pharaohs, yeah, and pyramids and yeah.
Huh.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, so I would definitely love to do this again, but I know you have to go soon. So is there a final message you have for the Heart Coherence Collaborative? How can we find your stuff? How can everybody be more involved with Dr. Yafi?
Yes. So my website is yafichanneling.com. Yafi, my first name, Yafi, channeling.com. I have 2 books out that I couldn't recommend more. The first one is Conversations with the Earth. They're both channeled material. And this is just a wild ride of all the galactics that I've channeled and the earth energies and all those different sources and their perspective on humanity and the shift and everything that we're going through right now.
Nice.
And then my newest book, Conversations with Hathor, Channeling the Divine Feminine, focuses on the messages from Hathor, specifically the Divine Feminine and their interaction with humanities right now, similarly to what we're talking about. And the beginning of the book is really, really helpful for people that are interested in connecting to their own intuition or maybe even learn how to channel, because the beginning of it was also the beginning of the journey for many beginner channelers. Those are the people asking the questions. So there are a lot of questions about trust and about how to recognize, is it your own voice? Is it your higher self? Is it a guide? How do you develop discernment? So there's a lot of that in the book to help people start developing their own voice. Which brings me to one of the things that I love doing the most is teaching light language. So I teach channeling and light language,
really
and
cool.
I love doing that because it's really, first of all, it's teaching people how to channel, how to become a clear channel, how to recognize that flow and how to hold that space with clarity, and then how to express it with your voice. How to really befriend your voice and allow it to become an expression of the divine.
Yeah. I think I have an opportunity for you that I want to talk to you about after this. So I'm really excited about that. Anybody listening, definitely check out Dr. Yafi's books. And thank you so much. I loved our time together. It was great.
Me too. Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody. Sending you all love. Hey everyone, before we wrap this video up, we'd love it if you'd take a slow breath in and out of your heart with us, as we would love to invite you into our new Heart Coherence Collaborative community.
Our Heart Coherence community is a completely different kind of community than anything you've ever been a part of. It's the shared home of an extraordinary network of teachers we've built real relationships with over time, like Pam Erlin, Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, and many others. These aren't guest appearances. They're not one-off courses. These are people who are going to be the part of a living fabric of space with us.
We're so excited about having this community of all these amazing teachers. Many of your favorite teachers are going to live inside our Heart Coherence community, where they will be offering special channeling sessions, releasing exclusive courses, and interacting with members in real time. This is the fruition of what Leah and I actually wanted to create when we started the Heart Coherence Collaborative 7 or 8 years ago, when it was just her and I doing Facebook Lives with 3 people watching. As a member, you're not just here to consume, you can actually apply to host sessions inside the community in whatever modality you specialize in.
We really have so many gifted practitioners in our collective, from Reiki to yoga to meditation, breathwork, and beyond. And if you're one of those people, this could be your place to shine. It's a collaborative built by the people for the people.
Yeah, inside our Heart Coherence community, we practice together. We practice embodiment together. I personally am going to be guiding live Heart Coherence meditations 3 times times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And there will be full replays included for anyone that can't make those. And we believe this is going to create real nervous system regulation and consistency. As part of our community, you're also going to receive live virtual access to our in-person Heart Coherence retreats that we host twice a year that are so much fun. Some of the deepest breakthroughs consistently happen during these retreats.
Every month, we'll gather for a full moon ceremony with a special guest, creating a powerful space for intention, release, and energetic alignment. Once a month, we will also host a live special guest session with teachers you already know and love exclusively inside of the community.
As part of our community, you're also going to receive access to a growing library of 300 or more hours of exclusive courses covering heart coherence, emotional and energy healing, identity shifting, channeling, and consciousness expansion. Like we already mentioned, some of our favorite healers have been graciously submitting courses for you guys to enjoy. Plus, you're going to get exclusive courses you won't find anywhere else.
So more than anything, this community is going to become an anchor. We're going to have teachers like Bashar, Natalie Namaste, and Ra of Earth, with more and more being added. So if you've ever felt like you're outgrowing your environment or you're craving a space where people are actually living these practices, this is where you belong.
Right now, new members can join our Heart Coherence community for $47 a month. Once the first 1,000 members join, the price is going to increase. So if you join at $47 right now, you'll have the same price forever, even after the cost of the community goes up. That is what you'll pay for as long as you remain in the community.
You also have the option to choose annual access, which is $423 per year. That will lock in that $47 a month price, and it'll also give you 3 months free. So that's the best bang for your buck.
Joining is simple. Just click the link near this video and join us inside our Heart Coherence community before the price increases soon.
We would love to practice with you, and we would love to grow with you.
Looking forward to seeing you inside.